And so on to round 2, game 1. And my opponent this time is Andy on the left, and he's playing Edward Kim, and myself on the right, Jonny, playing my near-Earth hub. Okay, so I felt like the first round went pretty well, so hoping for it to continue. My court deck doesn't run that many operations, so I feel like Edward Kim, it's almost a blank ID, but we'll see what happens. So yeah, I think we're both happy with the cards. So I'm starting off, installing, drawing, and Jackson, and I believe I had lots and lots of agendas. Well, I felt like perhaps I could use Jackson just to try and clear it out, and I believe I just drew even more. So I think I even hit Jackson again, so I can't play any of these.
I'll hit Jackson again.
Yeah, so Jackson a second time. So I have 9 cards.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's make it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what have we got here?
Okay, now deciding what to bin.
Yeah, I probably drew once to
Yeah, and so probably should have mulliganed. I mean, you feel like if you got a hand with quite a few agendas, surely, you would think that if you were to draw, you're more likely to get a non-agenda card. Obviously, it is just all statistical likelihood, and if there are agendas in the deck, you can draw them, and looks like I did. So I think I'm.
Yeah, that looks fine. I believe there's 5 cards in archive.
Yes, I think I'm trying to keep this all nicer. So keep him Astro. So doing the Day Sucker, and I'm just gonna tap the Jackson because I'm expecting an Archives run. R&D, and it's a piece of ice. Looks like an Eli.
I'll go HQ.
So Data Sucker, R&D, HQ. So I'm going to offer the cards like that while I have the space.
I'll steal. Oh, it's the Astro.
And he takes the Astro. And I try and feign that. Actually, that's the only agenda in hand.
Okay, yeah, sure. Random last week, I know. No, that's fine.
So injecting.
So you trash all the programs, so you get 1 for each.
So, yep. 2 Parasites and a Mimic. And gains the I've had worse, so that's +3. So my archives have remained untouched.
Just in case you've got some crazy.
And already Andy seems to be fearing the mid-season threat. Or punitive, I guess, I'm not sure, but...
Did I pick it up a bit?
So I've got the 1 Jackson, I think I've drawn into a 2nd Jackson, so in theory I should be able to plug.
Yeah, let's install a new server.
And it looks like I've finally got some ice in hand there. So R&D and HQ. I think the 1 over HQ is a pop-up window. So I'd be tempted to say it's a Data Raven over R&D.
Let's have a look. Let's try and have a look at R&D.
Okay, he's going R&D.
No res.
I've got 5 credits, so no res. I think that was a piece of ice, I think. HQ. Oh, so I don't think it can't possibly be the pop-up window. Also, res that in an instant, in a heartbeat. So perhaps the pop-up window is still in hand.
Tag. You do get a tag.
And he got the TG-TVT. And is now tagged.
No, thank you. Alright, that's fine.
And immediately he clears the tag, which is fair enough. It's kind of like an extra click and 2 to steal that. Unfortunately, I wasn't set up the dedicated response teams to take advantage of that.
I will take 3. 1, 2, 3. There you go. I'll move.
And oh gosh, just taking 3. So no sweeps, no pads in hand, nothing I really want to make a server from. And I think the other remote is a second Jackson.
Might get those shots. Oh, sorry, dude. I think it comes to about here, I would say. That's all. I've just noticed there's a horrible shadow here with that light.
Yeah, and just pointing out the shadow. Apologies, I guess it's still... The setup's still a work in progress where the camera is on a separate table, so we've managed to avoid the infamous camera shake, thanks to Tappy Andy that I'm now playing against. Run the R&D, it's a Data Raven, so we happily have none of that and we'll bounce off. So job done. Okay, and Andy just checks himself. I think he was going to do something possibly a bit reckless, but I think he's just going to take some money.
I'll do a...
And discards a David.
I'll install...
Considering an install. Oh, no, it's the Turtlebacks, it was. And we have a reader. So, first time I create a remote server, well, not the first time, every time I create a remote server, game 1. So it costs 2, so as soon as you make 3+ servers after it, it starts making you money. For the trash as well, so it's not the most pleasant. So yeah, I think just a new remote and a bit of change, a bit of money. Slowly building, and Imp from Andy. And he runs for the daily business show, and he will zap that with the Imp, fair enough. And Andy scolds himself, he didn't draw first click. But I don't think it's okay. And just take credit to finish the turn out. And yeah, I've had enough. I don't like having imps. They can kind of ruin this deck, so I'm just opting for a purge. I think I'm at 5 cards now, so it was safe to take a card and not have to discard one. So yeah, happy to purge.
This is a really strange thing that I'm doing here.
Andy prefaces this is a really strange thing. And suddenly take note of the 5 credits. I'm wondering about a potential Hades Shard play.
What? No, it's fine, it's fine. No, you play
And so with the 5 credits, I think if you'd have to play like a short gamble to get up to 7, I can pop the Jackson to save some agendas.
Okay, well... I think with the credit amount, it seems like I might do something, but I want to use the total jank card, turn them into you.
Okay, so we're talking about jank card and its archives interface. And yeah, just in case, I'm going to take this opportunity now to use Jackson as he runs.
Whenever you access, I may remove 1 card instead of accessing it. So I will remove... So they go face up, and then I guess choose what I do.
Okay, so archives interface.
I don't know which is the biggest threat here. I don't like tags, so I get data raven. They've got rid of data business show. I'm going to get rid of data business show for the game. Where do you wish to put it?
And yeah, and so it goes into the banished out of the game pile with Jackson. So rather than accessing, Andy decides to get rid of the Daily Business Show, try and avoid me either internsing it back or shuffling it back in with a later Jackson.
Yeah, because I had the credit to do it as well. So
Yeah, we were just taking note of the fact that if Andy had Careers Fair in hand, he could have got the Hades Shard in before I had a chance to react, and immediately pop the Hades Shard before I could do Jackson and access. I'm pretty sure 3 agendas worth. Andy's on 3 points now. I probably would have been the game. So breathed a sigh of relief there. Okay, so he's coming at HQ. I think that must be a second Data Raven. Obviously don't have anything in hand, so I'm quite happy for him to have a look. And that is the wraparound. Yep. And then drawing a card. Yeah, try to stabilize, I say. Okay, so a new remote. So gaining 1 on a card. It's like Proco for servers. I think I got closed accounts there. So if Andy does decide to float the tags. Yeah, a second device over HQ. I don't think I've got anything to protect, but it's more to bait the runs and pop-ups, so happily take 1. And Andy debates, you only got 2 credits, like is it worth paying 1 and potentially facing whatever nastiness that is? I think it's a Data Raven, so we could jack out. And pop-up window, you can just decline to pay the 1 or break. Oh, and I just flashed my snare at Andy there. Oh dear, how... Yep, there's snares on the other side as well. So Andy, you should definitely run HQ, buddy. See if you can find that snare. He does check out and draws a card. And he's going to inject again. So what do we got? We got 2 programs. And he's got the dreaded Hacktivist meeting. Yeah, this deck hates that card. Hates that card with a passion. Because I've got lots of non-ice cards I would like to res. And Hacktivist meeting. Yeah, and just double checking, it's not the first time, it's every time. Is that right? Still, so the current's in play. So I'm wondering how easy it would be to try and get a quick score.
I'm going to install turn 1, and I'm going to install there.
Install over R&D. So 2 new remotes. So that's +2 and a card. I'm just checking what I've got. And I think I'm just pointing out the snare there. I don't think I was bluffing. I think just to grab that extra card and some change, happily install a snare. Andy installs KT, clicks KT, draws and takes 1. So bit strapped for cash, but KT's on the board now. So new remote, +1 and a card, of course. And it looks like I've just drawn up into an Astro. I think one of those remotes is a Sansan, so I think I might just take money here and just prepare. And so this is the clot prep. I'm just seeing, has he inadvertently discarded a clot while I wasn't paying attention? Oh, I'm going to draw actually. Oh, and install another remote, taking one.
Oh no, this is the first time, but Silverbacks is whenever. Okay.
Okay, so quite a lot of face down ones there, and he's not too interested in checking them.
Okay. Ready? Sure. Hit me. For that one.
Okay, so he's going for the far one.
Well, he stays there, doesn't he? In fact. So I got nothing. Yep. Next one.
And that's Jackson, and he doesn't have any assets, but he's just checking them.
Johnny. What?
Dedicated response team. Dirty Johnny, Andy says.
Okay.
And again, can't trash.
That's fine. Leave it. I haven't got enough money to do that, so that's Katie. Can't afford to be snared at this point. We're only one credit.
And I think, yeah, that next one is the snare. Wait.
How many cards go in hand?
Okay, I think I'm doing
At least one.
the hand check. I probably have a sweeps.
At least one.
It's usually a pretty obvious play.
So, Andy, remember Jackson. I'm going to do a manager.
Okay. And are we looking to do a Astro score?
So new remote there, that's right.
Yeah, so we're starting our sort of second row of remote, so take one and a card. So perhaps I'm just happy enough to develop. Install no sewer, take one. And yeah, I think that's just a pop-up over Turtle Banks. I think if Andy does decide to come along and bin it and sort of destroy that sort of revenue stream, we'll at least we'll have a sort of credit swing of 2 to do it on top of that. So and just double checking how dedicated response team. So it's when a successful run ends due to meat damage if tagged. So he's running there, and oh, there's another one.
I'll put that back.
Again, doesn't have enough money to res it. It's like an NBN shell game.
Is it here?
Is it here? Yeah, and again, I believe I do point to the correct position of the snare. And I think the other one is a pad, I'd be tempted to say. So I think Andy's just going to build. So click Katie again, take one. So if you did want to start trashing the assets,
So I'll do a mandatory draw.
oh no pad. And just checking the Sansan, I think it's the one next to that, but install.
I'm going to pay 6.
Pay 6.
Non-ice, so activist.
Yeah, so Hacktivist triggers.
Face down.
Not sure what that is.
I'm going to spend 2.
And then spend 2, score the Astro, and fluff the Hacktivist off. Probably scored before I wanted to. I'm a little broke now, but I think it's important to get rid of that Hacktivist meeting.
Right, let's do this. Katie.
Okay. So he's taking off Katie for a first click.
Deja vu.
Deja vu. Vujade. What are we bringing back? Probably some imps, right?
No. To be fair, this kind of horizontal death is a proper troll card. Imp and a parasite. Okay.
Imp and a parasite. Okay, that's fine. And yeah, gets the imp installed straight away. And yeah, just starting to tap the Sansan. Assume that he's going to imp the Sansan, and he does. Okay, so it's 3 plays 2. But with that all-important Astro. And yeah, without flinching, I'm going to purge. And said imps ruin my day. So
I'm not afraid to purge once an imp goes down. Not afraid at all.
get rid of them. I think he talk about Fester as well, which I think Andy does have one or two in this deck. So he's going to have a look at archives, so remind myself where Jackson is. I think it's that one. Has to be. I'm just going to have a look at all of them.
No, go on, have your sucker. You trashed it.
And it was a Turtlebacks that he lost. Which, I mean, it could be worse. It would, once you get two or more of those rezzed, it starts getting ridiculous.
Oh, so you can't like talk about over screen testing. That's instead of.
Okay, and third, a second data sucker.
Yeah, sure. So that's 1-1.
Okay, so he ran properly, and yeah, so he's going to use the archives interface to remove the data raven from the game.
Imagine if you had two of them, right?
So the first run of archives, he didn't use it, just so he could see what that face down one was. And fourth, just drawing. Okay. The man tree, still no pads to speak of.
I'll draw.
Oh, and a second draw. And I think I just brought into a sweep. And yeah, asking Andy, he's got the full hand, so yeah, we're going to sweep for +4. And we've got nothing to install. That's a bit of sad times.
I'll just take one.
And yeah, just taking one. Sure gamble. Archives, so Andy's removing stuff from the game. He's getting rid of the sweep and building up those data sucker tokens. And popping a parasite on the Day Raven. And I'm just going to ready a red dice for that dude. So he does have enough data suckers to trash it. You do encounter before you can spend those data sucker tokens, so you would have to take a tag that first time if you didn't let the parasite build up to meet the or parasite to bring down the strength naturally. Okay, so tailbacks, and yeah, so I got two of them. So taking two and a card, or taking two, took the card already, and another one, and hedge fund. Okay, so had a bit of a quiet turn, and yeah, we're just going to move the Astro around. It starts to get a bit ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, of course, from using this, I could trash the operation without having to access it. There's only one in there. So, first option you access, that says instead of access. Okay, yeah, no, that's great. Parasite gets one.
Okay, and Andy's turn, so I've got a bit of money now, so I think I've got a second Sand, perhaps? Oh, yeah, we're going R&D. Pop up.
So you still need to take the tag.
Yeah, so just pointing out, you still have to take the tag.
I guess that's yours. That goes there. So you've got. I'm not Oh, okay. So you're
Okay, and he's actually going to bounce out before the access. Yeah, because he knows I've got 2 dedicated response teams waiting in the wings.
Let's have another look at R&D. I'll take one.
So then he's going to go R&D again. So 1 to see a card. What do we have there? I think it's it's a pad campaign. Thank you, past me for tilting the card. And he could trash, but he's not interested in spending pretty much all his money. And then last one, do Katie. Okay, so pretty much rolling in it right now.
Put it down. Put it straight down, Jonny. Put that pop up straight down. I mean.
Okay, so a new remote. So 2 and a card. Always, unstoppable really. But can you afford to waste time trashing those turtlebacks? Getting another piece of ISO R&D, just shore it up a bit. And I think I'm just taking 1. So I think that's probably the pad we saw off R&D last time. So I think it's looking good now. As I said, I think there's a Sansan on board, so I think we're just waiting to see some agendas.
Still here, still alive.
I'm not sure if we've got any Jackson on board. We would need to start aggressively drawing through. And a clone ship.
No. Clone ship.
Yep.
Oh, there's a clone.
Yep. See it.
Clone ship and a... Oh dear. Yep, clone ship and then finally a draw. So, yeah, and there is the pad. Res that for net. Net 1. And where's that Sansan? Where's that trusty Sansan? So, yeah, I'm doing some clot checking again. Seeing as he now has the clone ship in play. But it's not there. I don't believe Andy is running clot. But I have to respect it and give the option. Oh, and that was the snare. That's where it went. Yep, so Res Sansan, install, Vance, and score. It's just a Beal, so that's fine. So going up to 4-3 now. 4-3, and still have that Astro counter. And yeah, now just got to touch every card. Yeah, and so throw the turns, so it's looking okay. And now kind of forces Andy to deal with the imp. Inject. I wonder if he's just digging for the imp.
So you draw all those cards? Oh, the Atman, sorry, yes, you gain 1.
And yeah, so we've got a single Atman in there. So he takes 1 and draws 3. So he's got the I've had worse. I think that's a special order there. And Vamp. So second, going R&D.
I think I'm gonna. I'm thinking I might kill it.
You can, yeah, it'll cost you 2.
It'll make me get rid of one of these as well, won't it? For this initial install.
Well, when every install program, you can choose to trash any number.
I have, yeah.
But if you're at,
Okay, and
you could bin both.
So clone ship, parasite.
and yeah, and he's going to take the opportunity to clone ship the clone ship the pop-up. So deny my precious 1 credit, gets his data suckers, sees a card, and it's a hedge fund. So we'll use Edward Kim's ability to trash the operation. I think it might be a toll booth on R&D, which I think I can afford, but not quite so keen to go broke. So I've probably got 1 agenda in hand then. So the game plan is to sort of score that out next time.
We're going to pay
Oh yeah, and we're going R&D again, and yeah, it is indeed the toll booth, and
Oh my god.
Oh, what with the 2 bits of ice? Nothing there's there. We could go find that snare.
I know, but I'd give you a 1 credit.
Who says it's an HQ?
It's true.
okay, so yeah, he can't pay the toll, so he doesn't lose any credits and just simply bounces off.
Bit colorblind. Okay, so I guess you
So-
bounce off, right? Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep,
I need to ditch.
yep, bounce off.
Plan. Someone on Kate first.
Yep.
I think last click, yeah, we'll put some money on Katie. So I think Andy, much like Dave, has been sort of struggling for economy.
Well,
I'm gonna
you
ditch.
could successfully bounce me, but for 1.
I don't know if it's the fact that he just hasn't seen any of his economy cards, or perhaps too strong a reliance on Katie just to carry you through the game. And there haven't been any mediums or nerve agents, so seeing one card every now and again is quite happy to do. So pad money and drawing a card, and if I can
5.
install another card, whatever it is, we'll get an extra 2 credits on a card.
Yeah, I'll sweeps for
We'll sweeps, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, back online. And you know what?
Yeah, and we joke the snare is back online, and just taken 2, so probably tips my hat a bit that there's no installable assets or upgrades in HQ. I think I'm sitting on a bit of ice.
Take 2 credits.
I think I've still got the closed accounts in there.
Okay, so I'll take 1 off that pad.
Okay, and just a building turn for Andy. Yeah, just taking some money, drawing and Katie. So now we're back up to 9 credits. So surely, if we have agenda, we would happily score it through the Sand. So again, we're waiting. Is that an NAPD I have, which I could use the Astro token with? I quite like having the Astro token there for the last agenda score, just because it makes it pretty much trivial to score the last one. So okay, so I can make a bit of space. So there, a new remote. Take 2 off the 2 turtlebacks and draw a card.
Please vomited cards over.
It is, it's really awesome. I'm going to install that there.
Yeah, install another remote, and so that's another 2. No card draw, but we'll happily take the 2.
Yeah, I'm going to draw.
I'm going to draw, see if we can find that, and I think I did just draw into agenda. So he's checking that one.
Yes.
It's a snare,
I'll spend 4.
and I missed a trick here. I should have rezzed the dedicated response teams.
So 1 at a time, right?
Yep.
So 1. Okay. Damn it.
I don't think it is 1 at a time, actually. I think it should have been just take 3. It's like 3 net damage.
Oh, hang on. Let's go 2.
Hilarious, Jonny. Absolutely hilarious.
Well, I snipe him now, right? And then,
Yes, I think we did that technically wrong. So it should have been 3 net damage in one go. So if Andy did draw that, the second I've had worse, I wouldn't have hit it. So I think we did that slightly wrong there.
When's the res window after I access?
no, it's before. It's right before. So
Oh,
you,
so
have you have an option to say,
needed to
Jack,
res
I'll
him.
continue.
You need to res him
You need to be
first.
res.
So you
I chose not to.
You're a gent. You're a gent.
I probably shouldn't have, but
Yeah, so just mentioning how I kind of forgot to res the dedicated response teams, or I was just being kind. But in fact, that's actually meant that Andy is now more cards than he started with, hitting the 2 I've had worse. And yeah, so he's going to also clear the tag.
It's like, while I'm here. I don't want to get rid of everything. I'll play a Festa. For a credit.
and Fester. So if I go to purge, I have to lose 2 credits if able. The corp does.
If I have one, I don't lose anything.
I've got to ditch a hell of a lot though.
About half an hour, guys. Half an hour? 30 minutes? We're still on game on.
Let's get rid of Scrubber and David.
Okay. Struggle to come in mighty handy.
It's too late for that.
Okay, and it looks like Andy's deck's actually getting quite low, and this game has gone quite long, to be fair.
And a mandatory. I'm going to install that there. Take
So
2.
install and collect 2.
There's 1. I'm going to do the same. Take another 2.
Yep.
And I'm going to res this first one.
And yep, so another server, collect another 2, and then click on marked accounts. To be honest, I'm not really wanting for money, so it might be just better just to try and draw through the deck faster. Andy collects off KT. Just pile of money there.
Clone chip.
And clone chip.
Run R&D.
And probably binning the Sandstone, right?
Clone chip.
I was gonna.
You still, on the encounter, still would have to pay 3 if
Yep.
able.
That's my 5 credits going. 5 credits.
Yeah.
So that's the 3. That's the 3 for the toll. Yeah, of course.
Okay, and yep, so we're clone chipping back a Parasite on the toll booth. So he still, again, has to pay the 3 on encounter. So we are going to get rid of the toll booth in a second, but I'm just going to shuffle some stuff back in with Jackson. So I think I'm just going to take a snare, 'cause that's been good.
No, it would be an option. So I'm going to use Jackson, and I'm also going to.
For the DRT.
Yeah, I think the time is now. I need to get you a little scared. Seen one card.
Pardon? Yeah, just one.
Okay. Don't know if you want to cut. Let me have a think. Hang on.
Fine.
K2.
Yeah, and I'm going to res the dedicated response teams as well. So shuffle the snare back in.
Basically been my whole hand. Okay, yeah, I've just got the 2 there. So good luck. Hopefully you don't see a snare or anything like that.
It gets trashed because it's a hedge fund.
Okay, and Edward Kim trashes the hedge fund. So I've got the dedicated response teams on there. So I'm not too sure if it's worth doing, but does make other runs a little scary. We'll get some money back in, and I think I've just drawn up into an Astro. So let's we're waiting for that. So yeah, let's get that scored. So I'm gonna move the dice up. So 2 Astro tokens. So I'm on 6 points to Andy's 3. R&D is indeed wide open.
They do. So
And I think there's actually an NAPD
Provided I can pull the snare.
on the actually in one of the remotes. So we're
2 and 2. So, but if one of that damage, like the first one hits 9 bed worse, you might be able to
Jonny.
survive.
stop talking. We're doing this.
and he tells me to shut up and installs the medium. So first click medium,
One card. They just get powered up.
I'm going to use the
and before he goes access, I'm going to use a second, well I think my last Jackson actually, to shuffle some non-agenda cards in. So 3 hedge funds. So see if he can hit them, I joke.
There's not many cards in here.
Well, that's probably a bad call actually, because if he does hit 1, he'll trash it, and then he'll have a fresh card to see. So if anything, I really should have shuffled just ice into R&D. That would have been better. So second click, you'll see 1 card,
I will pay for it, of course. So,
and yeah, we've hit a snare.
4. I presume you're trashing. Yes. So what's that? 3 net damage. So 1, 2, 4. I think you've just about survived, haven't you?
Yeah, and again, I think we've done it wrong there as well. But that is the last I've had worse.
Then
The 2 from
so 2
and 2.
2.
Yeah.
So 2 and 2. Yeah.
And 2 and 2, and yep, so that the dedicated response teams blow out the rest of his hand.
I'll get rid of the tag.
So he is tagged.
Run thing. And I'm gonna go again because
Yeah, come on.
balls out, Johnny. Balls out.
Balls.
And I think he's going again
Okay.
to see 2 cards.
So there's 1.
And that's the NEPD. And he can't steal it.
I don't care.
There's 2.
That gets trashed.
And yeah, he hits one of his hedge funds.
Is that last clip?
Yeah, I didn't have a cash for the
Yeah, so we didn't have enough to steal the NEPD.
way to trash. So should've been sorted in.
Yeah, so draw the NEPD. Stall. And yeah, I don't even need both counters. But yeah, that's game. And yeah, so there's an NEPD there, which I could have happily scored. And again, another long game. New of Hope is traditionally a very fast corp. This is obviously a much slower variant. But no, took an agenda win, which I'm pretty happy with. So yeah, I guess we'll go on to game 2.
I'm just jettisoning it all. But then I kept drawing more agendas.
Over to Valencia. But yeah, Andy. It seemed like he saw like didn't really seem much economy, or there was not much economy to be found. Even though it might have been a bit of a hit to the tempo, I was happy to get rid of the imps. But yeah, not too bad. See you in game 2.